son whenever asked about him, and he's brought attention to his son's games where he was spotted being like any father would, showing up to Bronny's games and being his biggest fan, yelling and hyping up the team. LeBron even received some criticism for being too involved with Bronny. At one point, LeBron was spotted practicing with the team before a game where he was throwing down pre-game dunks, participating in the layup line. But LeBron doesn't care. He wants to be there for Bronny far more than his father was there for him. LeBron's even recently admitted Bronny might be better than him right now. NBA draft analyst Paul Boncari actually praised him earlier this year, saying, "I hope LeBron's not going to get mad at me, but I think Bronny's jump shot is a little bit better." And LeBron responded to this on Twitter saying, "Can't ever be mad at the facts. Flamethrower he has. By the way, I probably got the third best jump shot in the household. Bryce Maximus got a cooker too." Bronny's coming in this year on a mission. With him just turning 15 years old at the end of the year, he's a promising 6'2" point guard / shooting guard with a great feel for the game in both ways. Being able to pass to the open man or hit a shot himself.
So this is not even my main.
He's 14 years old in 1999.
I have another
Just
build
starting a
too.
secondary high school career at St. Vincent St. Mary with extreme expectations as well. At that time, he was 6'3" coming into the freshman season, and he was immediately a varsity star for the championship team. Now, when comparing LeBron to his son Bronny, this is the point in time where we're at right now for Bronny, freshman in high school. And when LeBron was a freshman back in the day, James averaged 21 points and 6 rebounds per game for his first high school year. He helped lead the team to a Division III state title by scoring 25 points in the championship game. At this point, many anticipated the LeBron hype to be real, and he continued to get better over the years. As a sophomore, 5 points, 7.2 rebounds, 6 assists, and 4 steals per game. The hype surrounding LeBron was getting so unreal at this point that for some home games during the season, St. Vincent St. Mary played at the University of Akron's 5,492-seat Rhodes Arena to satisfy ticket demands from alumni, fans, as well as college and NBA scouts who wanted to see James play. The Fighting Irish finished the season with a 46-1 record, defeating the state champions. For his outstanding play, James was named Ohio Mr. Basketball. He was selected to the USA Today All-USA First Team, becoming the first sophomore to do either. Now, before the start of LeBron's junior year, James was already featured in Slam magazine, and writer Ryan Jones labeled him as the best high school basketball player in America right now. During that season, LeBron also appeared on the cover of Sports Illustrated, becoming the first high school basketball underclassman to do that as well. That third year of LeBron's high school career had more attention than most NBA stars, as he was quickly becoming someone to fear once he eventually entered the league. But that season, LeBron averaged 29 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, and 3 steals per game. After that year, he was again named Ohio Mr. Basketball and selected to the USA Today's All-USA First Team, and became the first junior to be named Male Basketball Gatorade National Player of the Year. St. Vincent St. Mary finished the year with a 23-4 record, ending their season with a loss in the Division II championship game. Now, coming into his final year of high school, LeBron and the Fighting Irish traveled around the country to play a number of nationally ranked teams, including a game against Oak Hill Academy that was nationally televised on ESPN2. The game featured a young LeBron James going up against Carmelo Anthony before their professional careers began. And this game put both of these young stars on the map that season. LeBron averaged crazy numbers, looking like an NBA superstar against high school competition. It was unfair at this point. LeBron put up 31 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals per game, and he was named Ohio Mr. Basketball and selected to the USA Today All-USA First Team for a third consecutive year. And he was named Gatorade National Player of the Year for the second consecutive year. He participated in 3 year-end high school basketball all-star games, the EA Sports Roundtable Classic, the Jordan Capital Classic, and the McDonald's All-American game, which made him officially lose his NCAA eligibility, but it was okay. This made it official that he would enter the 2003 NBA draft, concluding that final season. James scored a career-high 52 points, and eventually St. Vincent St. Mary went on to win the Division II championship, marking their third title in 4 years LeBron was a part of them. And with Bronny being in high school, the time is now for him to accomplish some incredible feats like his father before him. There's definitely a ridiculous amount of pressure to live up to, but if LeBron did it, and he stays true to his word of allowing his son Bronny to receive the right blueprint, it should only be up from here for Prince Bronny. Hey, bro, could you do me a favor real quick? Could you just click on this video on the screen right there? You see that video? Yeah, that one right there. It's a pretty fire video, dude. Seriously.
We're proud to sell Hondas, where over 14,000 Ohioans work hard every day to build.
Odell continues to dominate these headlines.
Wow! This is sick. Put this to music.
Oh, that's ridiculous. He does it basically with his thumb and his forefinger.
After being fouled.
First and foremost, you don't condone the behavior. You can't condone the behavior. It's childish, it's foolish, and knowing that you are Odell, you just can't do that.
Do you think Odell should be worried about his place in the NFL at this point?
I think he should.
From the turf to the hardwood, Odell Beckham Jr.'s journey up to this point is one of a kind. Not many athletes have been successful in multiple professional sports,
But like, it's not letting me jump block, dude. Jesus. God.
There should be an NBA season. I don't know. I can say that there should be an NFL season.
Because of Odell's basketball background and an undeniable contract offer, the switch is one hell of a story. Right from the start, Odell was destined for greatness. His father, Odell Beckham Sr., was a football player at LSU, and his mother, Heather Van Norman, was a track star at the school as well. Growing up in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Odell had the guidance that was necessary to turn him professional. By the time OBJ was just 4 years old, he was already showing love for sports. He was seen playing football inside and outside of the house, especially when there was company over. His mom recalled the moment when she had a group of friends over, and the topic of what Odell wanted to be when he grew up was asked. OBJ talked about this, saying, "I just told my mom straight to her face, I'm out here practicing for Sunday. I'm going to be in the NFL." And she says to this day, it was such an honest answer, and I said it with such conviction that everyone around me had no choice but to believe me. That's what my dream always was, and that's been my goal. When it came time for high school, and sports mattered the most, Odell attended Isidore Newman School in New Orleans, Louisiana. Here is where OBJ began really making a name for himself, as he became a letterman in football, basketball, and track. It was clear his family genes were elevating him because any sport he dedicated to, he became great at. His work ethic was unmatched, and his mother talked about this, saying, even as a young child, he grew up kind of talking about this and being here one day. I know that his faith in God, faith in himself, and faith in his coaches, there's a lot of respect that goes out to them. He's constantly trying to learn the game and sculpting into what he knows best. In high school football, Odell played wide receiver, quarterback, running back, and cornerback for the Greenies football team. And as a junior, he caught 45 passes for 743 yards and 10 touchdowns, while also adding 3 rushing touchdowns. As a senior, he hauled in 50 catches for 1,010 yards and 19 touchdowns. As a standout track and field athlete, to excel in the sprinting and jumping events while at Newman High, Beckham also played soccer growing up and considers David Beckham his childhood idol. His soccer club coaches offered Beckham a chance to try out for a junior national team program, but he didn't want to spend the required time overseas, considering his talents in other sports at home. In basketball, Beckham lettered all 4 years and was an all-district selection his junior and senior years. Regarded as a 4-star
It's not letting me
by
go.
Rivals.com and Scout.
That wasn't a block.
Beckham was rated as the number 6 wide receiver and the number 40 player in the nation. So of course at this point, Odell's focus was football.
Ow.
Right there before making his college decision. Recently,
Wow.
between North
No way.
Carolina and Gonzaga. While there, he was asked about his basketball background and what ultimately made him not choose the sport over football. Odell said, ever since I was growing up.
You see how mean I was? How big the meter was? Did you just see? This is why I need zones.
Basketball dreams. It was just a sign to pursue football first. Deciding to stay in his home state, OBJ chose to attend Louisiana State University with scholarship offers from Ole Miss, Nebraska, Tulane, and Tulsa. At LSU, Odell went to the BCS National Championship game as a freshman, but ended up losing to Auburn. But as a sophomore, he started 12 of 13 games for the Tigers and really made a name for himself. As a junior, he would meet his best friend, Jarvis Landry, who with Odell would go on to make one of the craziest wide receiver duos we've seen in years in college football. In his role as a wide receiver and return specialist, Beckham was named the winner of the 2003 Paul Hornung Award, presented to the most versatile player in college football. He finished the 2013 season with 57 receptions for 1,117 yards and 8 touchdowns, and Odell led the SEC with 32 kickoff returns for 845 yards in the 2013 season. After this is when Odell's first dream started to become reality. In the 2014 NFL Draft, Odell was drafted with the number 12 pick by the New York Giants, and history began taking place. Not only as a rookie did Odell make one of the greatest catches of all time, he also set a record as the youngest player to ever be on the Madden cover. Beckham finished the rookie campaign with 91 receptions, 1,305 yards, and 12 touchdowns in only 12 games. He became just the 4th rookie in NFL history to have 1,300 receiving yards in a season, and the only rookie to ever have 90 receptions and 10 receiving touchdowns.
You see what? Bro, I'm gonna need glasses at this point.
As well. He nearly left the NFL for baseball because of a moment that happened in 2015 when Odell was playing in a celebrity softball game for charity. His teammate at the time, Prince Nakamura, filmed Odell throwing fast, accurate, and almost perfect pitches at the catcher. Beckham took the mound at the St. Jude's charity softball game, and by all accounts, he showed what it takes to be the next great MLB pitching prospect. After this took place, the Rockland Boulders of the Can-Am League made a contract offer to Odell to become a pitcher for their team. The Boulders GM, Sean Riley, talked about why they offered this deal and said, "It's apparent that Odell is a very gifted athlete, regardless of his sport. We think that getting experience pitching to professional hitters will give him the opportunity to follow in the footsteps of Deion Sanders and Bo Jackson." We were very impressed with Odell's mechanics in the video. He's shown his ability to catch a ball on the gridiron, and after seeing his prowess on the mound, I'm optimistic that he has the tools to develop into a quality pitcher. But basketball was Odell's
Don't follow him
second
right
love
off the
behind
bat.
football, so he turned the deal down. Beckham spent time training in basketball instead.
Don't. 43 seconds left. You're just gonna let them win the game.
ASU Student Recreation Center and put on a show for college kids. At the Sun Devils practice facility, Odell was hooping with college kids when he began to show them his dunk package and made it onto nearly every kid's Snapchat story. But this wasn't the first time Odell was seen dunking a ball. Earlier that year, Odell posted a video on Instagram captioned at King James, "I'm taking notes." And in the video, Odell said,
"Oh, yeah, I forgot.
We just out here in the court hoop."
Omega Red 4 and 1 Omega 3 support more than just heart health. They power your eyes, joints, but
chilling. Watch. Odell then had a buddy film him as he rose up for a LeBron-like dunk. And after jamming it, he walked away pressing the ground and lifting his knees like King James. This sparked a relationship between the two, and since then they've become good friends. With Odell's recent move to the Browns, him and LeBron have only gotten closer despite LeBron's move to LA. James talked about their relationship recently, saying, "I just try to be a guidance to him and give him words of advice when he needs it and when he wants it. He can reach out to me anytime, no matter what time or what the subject is, and I just try to give him a piece of my knowledge. It's up to him, however, how he wants to take it." Odell also posted another clip letting the fans know he is dunking like this on a 10-foot goal. He captioned the new video, "All-Star, I'm ready," and tagged both LeBron and Kevin Durant. But ever since these dunk videos shouting out NBA players, there were many videos that surfaced of Odell in school gyms. He's been dunking crazy and showcasing why he can have a career in the NBA. Odell even traveled to his old high school to put on a show for his Instagram followers. There he was doing crazy dunks and throwing lobs to himself. OBJ posted a video with the caption saying, "I bounce back like 2-3 with 4-5. Hashtag slam dunk Saturday." Another connection to the league Odell has is with Russell Westbrook. During Westbrook's final run with the Thunder in 2018, Russ posted a picture of him screaming on social media after having another one of his crazy performances. Odell reacted to the photo and commented back saying, "Stop it. Do I need to come to this game Wednesday to lock you up or not?" Russ then responded with his usual confidence saying, "Please do. LOL. Somebody got to do something." In late 2019, Colin Cowherd hopped on his show, The Herd, to explain his thoughts on Odell as a basketball player. On the show, Colin explained how with the type of hype and talent Odell has, he's the first ever NBA player in the NFL.
Odell Beckham, in my lifetime, is the first NBA player in the NFL.
Colin also talked about Odell's attitude and personality, saying the NFL needs more players like that, or else the league may become dry like the MLB. But while playing football in the league, Odell has broke wide receiver records and recently signed a 5-year deal with the Browns worth $95 million. Although it broke a record, it's lousy money compared to what he'd be making in the NBA. NFL analysts have said Odell is making $18 million a year on his new contract, but compared to NBA players with less talent, he's not really making much. Players like Tristan Thompson, Jeff Teague, Evan Turner, and Harrison Barnes, to name a few, make more than Odell, but are nowhere near as popular. So it's safe to say with Odell's athletic ability and mainstream popularity, he'd secure a better deal than all of these guys. Keep in mind, Beckham has a nearly 40-inch vertical jump. and 4.4 speed that could help him become a driving kick guard with Russell Westbrook-like ability when he's attacking the rim. With the NFL season uncertain, OBJ getting a contract with an NBA team to finish off the year makes sense. The NBA has been making huge advances toward the money for good, and the NFL is still in limbo. So it's the perfect time for Odell to switch sports. And this decision isn't uncommon either, with athletes like Michael Jordan making it popular before. With the Browns having a below-average year, and Odell showcasing he's more than a football player, it won't be a surprise when Odell signs an NBA deal sooner than later. If you've enjoyed this video, then we're sure you'll enjoy the next one. Click on right now and enjoy.
Kyrie Irving has been in the spotlight this entire season, but not for the right reasons. Controversies, fines, and now his recent disappearance from the NBA. The Nets are fed up with him. And this whole trade situation comes from Kyrie not following league rules. Recently, Kyrie's been sitting out of games, not showing up to practices, saying nothing but personal reasons are keeping him away. And that's when the controversy happened. This video started going viral recently, showing Kyrie partying in the middle of this pandemic. This video became a huge concern for the Nets and the NBA. And with that, the league put the situation under investigation. If proven guilty, Kyrie will pay $500,000 for every game he misses. And this is just the most recent example of Kyrie being controversial. That's exactly why the Nets have become so frustrated. Ever since Kyrie came to Brooklyn, there's always some kind of headline around it. The good news is, he's playing the best basketball of his career with 27 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists per game. But does it really matter how good you're playing when you're not showing up to practices and games? When Coach Steve Nash was asked if he thought Kyrie would return this season, he said, "I can't make predictions on things outside of this building." It's looking like Kyrie finally realized being the leader is a lot harder than it looks. And that's why a deal sending him to team up with LeBron James again is the best move. These two were already successful together in Cleveland for years. Just think about Kyrie, LeBron, and AD on the floor at the same time. This could be the greatest team in history. And honestly, this Nets team doesn't need Kyrie. They have Kevin Durant and incredible young talent. If anything, the Nets would be better off not having a bad role model like Kyrie around. And the Lakers have plenty to give up to match up the salaries. Dennis Schroeder, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Kyle Kuzma. And you throw in some young talent like Alex Caruso or Taylor Horton-Tucker. It builds around Kevin Durant in Brooklyn. He'll be a lone star with championship experience pieces. And for the Lakers, yeah, you give up a lot, but you got a starting 3 that's crazier than the Warriors with KD. A trade like this just makes sense on all angles. On the Nets, I'm investing everything into KD and just getting rid of Kyrie. He don't want to play right now anyways. But let me know what you guys would do. And of course, man, make sure you drop a like on the video, or I'm gonna follow you around and butter up every stair you're about to walk on. You ever see that episode of Family Guy where Peter falling down the stairs? That's gonna be you.
How you doing, Rambo?
Good, how about you?
Good.
Right here. Certified class. You're missing out.
Still hurting.
Click on it.
But I'm gonna show you my badges and my progressive, whatever it's called. Tell me how I'm missing these.